for some people, depending on their state, is depending on what you are, whether you're an RN or a nurse practitioner or a PA, you may need a medical director in your state. And if you do, the next step is to go talk to them, make a deal with a medical director. Many medical directors are happy to do this. If you need connections to medical directors, please reach out to us. We'll connect you to some. But basically, most of the medical directors out there are very kind. They're definitely interested in working with you. You just need to show that you're competent in what you do and that you have a plan that makes sense to them. And so if you don't already have an aesthetics business plan, we have one for you. Email us and we'll hook you up with that. The next thing is that once you find your medical director, you'll need to set up a company for them. And so most of the time, what they'll do is you'll have one company for you, an LLC, and you might have a company for your medical director, a PLC, and then you'll build a relationship between the two. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Sometimes you may need to do this with an attorney. Ideally you can, but you also have to be very careful. You don't want to spend a ton of money in this one area here. And so basically you'll want to find some way to make a relationship between these two entities. And basically, the simplest relationship you can make is a staffing agency, where your company, the LLC, is basically a staffing company that provides, in this case, maybe whatever you are, it could be like an RN, an APRN, et cetera, providing those services to the medical director's PLC, where the money flows into that PLC, and then it flows from the PLC to you. You'll control both companies. However, this setup here makes sure you're always in compliance with all the state laws, including the corporate practice of medicine, which is present in majority of states in the U.S., but not all of them. So without getting too much on the technical side, basically there's a couple ways that you set it up, but you're going to make a relationship between your company and your medical director's company. It could be a staffing agreement. It could be an MSO or management service organization. There's a lot of different ways to do it. There's pros and cons to each of them. Usually the simplest is just to build a staffing company initially.